Hey guys, I'm Viv. For those of you who know me, I am one of the executive producers of One Eye Open Productions. We travel around the world making really cool adventure films. For those of you who don't know me, you're now up to date. You can of course get the entire backstory on our YouTube channel. Right here. You can see me quit my job in Sydney. I've just quit my job at an advertising agency in Sydney. I bought a one-way ticket to Alaska and I'm talking to myself in an airport. I nearly die down a river, travel to India, rescued by the Belize Defence Force. We go to South Africa, I go skiing in Kyrgyzstan, travel to Australia, back to India, China several times. Basically, gave it all up to go traveling around the world. However, I signed on to running my own business, and there are a few things that I think creatives could benefit from before they launch themselves into making a business out of their creative talent. It wasn't until I sat down with a good friend of mine who had just finished his MBA, and he asked some of these questions, the questions I'm going to be asking you in a second. I am not inventing these ideas or concepts. I've simply taken them from my friend's work and I have repackaged them for, I guess, a creative mind. I will also be answering these questions in the context of One Eye Open Productions so that you can get an idea of how that is applicable. Question 1. What business are you in? For us, it is content production. We make film, TV, and online content. And specifically, we do it in adventure. Question number 2. Why is this an attractive market? For us, content production is an attractive market because there is a constant daily global demand for film and TV. Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, standard old TV. So that's why it's attractive for us, because we're in demand. What we create is needed. Question number 3. Where is your competition? Now this is a huge question, and I have actually broken it down into smaller 4 questions. So I kind of lied. This is technically the top 9 questions you should be asking yourself. How high or low is your buyer's bargaining power, your supplier's bargaining power, alternate options to your product, and what is the barrier to entry into your industry? So, for example, for One Eye Open Productions, the buyer's bargaining power is pretty high. Our buyers are the TV networks that distribute our content. They have a lot of power over us. They can say no because the quality wasn't high enough or they simply didn't like it, and there's not that many of them. Our suppliers' bargaining power. For One Eye Open Productions, this is low because there are a lot of suppliers. Now, the suppliers are the people that help you make your product. So for example, if you are a construction company, these would be the people that supply you the tiles that you then put into the bathroom. For us, our suppliers are our cameramen, our audio engineers, geez, you think I know this. Our other editors, graphics designers. So these are the people that help us, our drone pilots. Because there are a lot of filmmakers out there, particularly young, aspiring filmmakers, and the access to film equipment is easy and cheap, then there's a lot of people out there making films. So that means we have access to a huge pool, which means we can actually get good quality people. If we don't work too well with somebody, there's somebody else for us to turn to that's still of high quality because the pool is so huge. Which means our suppliers don't have a lot of bargaining power over us. What other alternatives to your product are out there? For One Eye Open Productions, this is quite simple. What other alternative films are out there? And there are tons. The answer could also be low because there's not that many alternatives to good quality adventure films. The barrier to entry into your industry. For filmmaking, the barrier to entry is low. As I just mentioned, camera equipment and editing software and laptops have never been cheaper than they are today. Again, this is kind of a 2-part answer for One Eye Open Productions because the barrier to adventure filmmaking is actually pretty high. Not only have you got to be able to do your job and film, but you've now got to do it at 5,000 meters above sea level with minimal oxygen, minus 20 degrees, blowing a gale, trying not to be blown right off the mountain.
And to figure out what other total hellhole we can get ourselves into.
Depending on where you answer in these questions, if you were high and low, this gives you an idea of where you can now compete. You know, maybe the buyer's bargaining power is low and you're the only person that's selling one particular type of t-shirt and everyone wants it, so you can put your price up. That was huge. Question number 4, who is your customer and what do they value? For us, our customer gets divided into our clients, our distributors, and our viewers. What do all of those people and groups value? Quality. That means our films have to be finished to a certain level for them to go on broadcast, for our clients to be happy, for you guys to actually enjoy it. They also value adventure and learning something new. Because we specialize in going to these remote parts of the world, you guys like learning about that. Keeping what your customers value at the forefront of your mind keeps you competitive, keeps you making good stuff, and keeps you very customer focused, which is the whole point of business. Coming back to why I'm talking about this to creatives, it can get really easy to get lost into your little creative bubble, and you can create something that you love. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but you've shown it to the world and they haven't understood it and they don't get it. That's great, and I do encourage that you keep doing your artwork and you try not to let people push you down. However, if you want to turn that passion and turn that creative talent into business, then you need to start looking outward, and that's what these questions are doing. So finally, question number 5, how are you breaking the mold? Simply put, number 5 is a question of, are you doing things differently or doing different things? For One Eye Open Productions, we are doing things differently, which is the first option. We haven't invented film or a new way of watching film or a new content platform like Netflix, but we are creating different films. We take you to some remote parts of the world that cameras haven't been before, so you haven't even seen some of these parts of the world. Also on our vlog, where Erik and I interact with you, that's a very different host format. Traditionally, vloggers either host or interact with the same gender and the same age. Erik and I have about 20 years between us, different genders, different nationalities, so that combination, we believe, creates a lot of hilarity, and you guys seem to enjoy it, but it's different. So that was pretty massive. Thank you for watching. I've written it all out succinctly in a blog article, which you'll find the link below. Leave your questions. I'll be covering more topics on this, so subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.